nearly 12 months, and we've nearly got the 1.3 million, so with a great attendance at Monday's game, it should be a great result.
And I know this is your strength. Please explain what the endoscopic theatre is, Tone.
Okay, the endoscopic unit is keyhole surgery, minimal invasive surgery. It's a world-leading unit, and it makes the whole process a whole lot smoother for the children.
Tone, by the end of Slowdown 5, that will bring to a conclusion our 11 projects.
Yep, and $5 million bone over the 7 years since the foundation's been going. It's been a great effort. We'd like to thank the community at large. The South Australian public have just been fantastic in their support. Now, the game. You're the coach. How are we going to go?
Well, I'm worried. All the momentum is with Port at the moment. They've got the most important silverware in AFL history, so it's going to be tough for us. But let's face it, it's a chance for the Crows to get their hands on some silverware because there's not much there for the next 6 months.
I'm glad you said that.
Won't be popular, though.
We hope you enjoy Slowdown 5. Enjoy the game.
And both Tony and Chris doing a great job once again. Slowdown 5 and the big crowd here at Adelaide Oval is testimony to that. Now, the other great thing about tradition here at the Adelaide Oval with Slowdowns is the big names. 2 years ago, Leighton Hewitt turned up. Last year, Tony Modra returned to wear the Crows jumper. He's playing again today, but the big name for Slowdown 5 is Guy Sebastian. Yes, the Australian idol, the Adelaide boy who has done us all very, very proud. He's here. I don't know about his actually playing football. We know he can sing, but he's spent plenty of time here already signing autographs. We'll just have a look at the lineups now to see exactly where the players are going to line up. And we see for Port Adelaide, Adrian Setri, Scotty Cummings. He's about 20 kilograms overweight, out of condition. But he and Rod Jamieson, who will ever forget their stoush in the real Showdown 1, toe-to-toe for about 20 seconds. Damien Murray has done some wonderful things on the soccer pitch for Adelaide City and Perth Glory. He's playing as well for Port Adelaide. Mark Tyler, Braden Lyle. He was the captain in Port Adelaide's first game in the absence of Gavin Wanganeen. And plenty of big names right through there. We go to the rucks now. David Baker, well, if he can't win it, he'll tell some jokes and make you laugh to death. But Tony McGuinness and the good doctor, Matthew Liptak, in there for the Crows as well. Tim Ginniver, recently appointed assistant coach of the Port Adelaide Magpies to take over from John Cale in a year's time. The reserves, the new coach, Greg Phillips for Port Adelaide. Given the conditions and the heat today, I doubt we'll see too much of Greg on the track. But his daughter, Erin, will be out there as well. And Chris McDermott has taken over from Graham Corns as coach of the Adelaide Crows lineup. So we're looking forward to a new coaching battle up there in the boxes. All right, as we all know, it is for a wonderful cause, the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation, and here's your chance to contribute to dig deep and remember a great day.
Adelaide Football Club Captain's Collection. This is a beautifully framed and personally autographed Adelaide football jumper with the exclusive signatures of the 4 captains. This piece is AFL approved and comes with a letter of authenticity, and all proceeds will go to support the work of the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation. This limited edition piece is priced at $880 and includes GST and delivery. Phone 83660600 now to secure your piece of SA football history. Limited to 50 only. Phone now.
So all is set for Slowdown 5. I'll be joined in the commentary box by the inaugural Adelaide Crows coach Graham Corns. We'll be back after the break with all the action from Slowdown 5.
West End Slowdown 5, presented by Brower Natural Medicines, Sky City, West End, Melonhead Melons, Bunnings, and Adelaide's Today Tonight.
A body, no face. A crime scene, no prints. And a hook.
Dead before she even hit the water.
Crossing Jordan tonight.
As a teacher and a mum, I believe Nutella for breakfast helps provide sustained energy. Nutella has a low GI, so it releases energy slowly, helping kids stay alert. With hazelnuts and skim milk, Nutella provides energy to live and learn.
How much will an increase in interest rates cost on a $200,000 mortgage? A 0.5% increase? You pay $83 a month extra. A 1% increase? You pay $167 a month extra. 2% increase? You pay $333 a month extra. And if they rose to the average they were last time Labor were in power, you pay $950 a month extra. And that's after tax. Mark Latham and interest rates? Good luck.
Authorised B.9 Nibble Valley, Canberra.
You don't have to be a supermodel to look and feel like one. Let Studio 2000 create a stunning series of portraits that will delight your family and friends for generations. You can feel confident that we know how to make you look and feel your best. And absolutely anyone can have their portraits taken, young or old. Sessions, including styling, makeup and photography, are available from $125. Call Studio 2000 on 1300 728 777.
People come in all shapes and sizes with different aches and pains.
At the Posture Care Chair Company, we understand this. And that's why every one of our chairs are specifically tailor-made to your exact body requirements. So that you receive a chair so comfortable, we will give you a 100% comfort guarantee. So don't settle for an average fitting chair. Have your chair tailor-made at the Posture Care Chair Company. Call now. I guarantee you 100% comfort. The Posture Care Chair Company, Fullerton Road, Norwood.
Looks pretty clean, but look down here. Plaque builds up on teeth just the same. Listerine can reduce plaque build-up by up to 59% over brushing alone. It's dynamite. Blast your teeth cleaner with Listerine.
The defense that's nothing short of controversial.
I'm attracted to you.
Seducing a judge.
You are a very sexy man.
It's just the start.
Was that sexual?
He's the Emmy Award-winning Best Actor. Now you'll see why.
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
The meat practice.
21 degrees, fine and sunny, and Adelaide Oval has come up an absolute treat. As a footballer, you couldn't ask for any better conditions, unless, of course, you hadn't trained for a few years and you were retired. I'm Bruce Abernathy, and joining me in the commentary box is Graham Corns, the inaugural Crows coach. He was the inaugural Crows Slowdown coach as well. You got sacked from both, and Chris McDermott's taken over the chair.
I didn't mind it at the Crows. You get sacked after a loss, but we won last time, and I'm quite devastated I was sacked. I was actually in the rooms listening to Chris McDermott's address, pre-match address, and I have to say it was barely inspiring.
You'd hardly be critical either, would you? As we'll find out a bit later on this afternoon. On the boundary is Mark Soderstrom to find out the interchange benches for both Port Adelaide and the Crows.
Good afternoon, everyone. What an absolutely magnificent day down here it is for the McDermott Foundation Slowdown. Sensational crowd. It is huge. Certainly will beat the 20,000 plus we had last year. Conditions absolutely magnificent. Les Burdett has done a fantastic job with his staff. The ground is in magnificent condition. It could just about be good enough to be playing lawn bowls on. And looking after the warm-up, I'm sure that many of the players here would prefer to be playing lawn bowls than kicking the football around. Well, the Power Boys, they are pumped up after last week's premiership in the AFL, and they certainly are my tip today, Bruce, for today's game.
And straight away, Darren Mead testing Ryan Fitzgerald. They locked arms, they rolled. Meady slipped a couple in. He's just trying to toughen him up or soften him up. Chris McDermott very critical of Ryan Fitzgerald's preparation. He said, what sort of preparation is being in a house for 6 months for this game?
Not a real big area to run around, but the weight bench was there, Cornsey. We saw plenty of him. The ball has been bounced in the middle, believe it or not. Tim Ginniver gets Port Adelaide forward. Michael Murphy in front for the Adelaide Crows. Some big names here from both sides who played in the first teams in both sides in the AFL as the Crows go towards half forward. And Fitzgerald, he can play football as well, don't forget. Takes a great mark, kicks across, looking out there. The agitator, Scotty Lee, tries to get back a little bit too slow, sees the pass and the lead, and charging out Matthew Liptak, the good doctor, takes the mark 40 metres out.
Yeah, well, a couple of very good signs early for the Crows. Michael Murphy, strong mark at centre half forward. Ryan Fitzgerald in front, and Scotty Lee sharing the ball around. I think his coach would have said inside 50, go for goal, but he's given it off to Matty Liptak, who improved enormously as a goal kicker in his time with the Crows.
96 club champion at the Adelaide Crows. Kicks on its way from 40 metres. And the Crows are on the board with the first score, the first major of Slowdown 5.
Good work, Matthew Liptak. He's studying to be a doctor. Well, he is a doctor, but he's specialising as a paediatrician. But let's watch Ryan Fitzgerald stretching in front of the eyes, and Darren Mead not possibly able to reach that.
Well, the old Port Adelaide ploy, if he takes too many of them, I think Meady might be aiming for his melon. He is a stonemason, Darren Mead, by trade.
Yeah, that'd be right. take the head.
Adelaide, 1 goal to Matthew Liptak. We're back in the middle. David Baker doing the ruck work. Stephen Williams trying to charge his way through. Does exactly that. Kicks inside 50, coming out to meet it. Great fist up there by Sean Tasker. Juggles it. He's been in a nice paddock as well. The Crows head towards the members' side. Mark Bickley.
Oh, look at Maynard run.
Rodney Maynard charging down. The kick's ordinary. Back to Lamoureux for you, Rocket. And Tim Ginniver. What do you make of Tim Ginniver taking up the coaching game, Graham?
It's the next step. He knows his footy. He's had great success. Here's the player the Crows have to watch. Aaron Phillips destroys us every time.
plays basketball for the Adelaide Lightning, the national team. Her father, of course, Port Adelaide legend Greg Phillips. And just pretty handy at footy too. Finds Tyler, too far out. Long kick towards the square, big pack. Fist away, Bickley goes charging through. Liptak's there. And the weed relieves the pressure for Adelaide, heads towards the outer side, 2-on-1. Right-hander, Limo.
That's sensational.
They can play as well as do some radio work. The kick to Modra. Lazy around the corner to the throw. Jock Sebastian, left, right, doesn't want a shot. Goes to 1-2, has a kick, and completely stuffs it up. Right across the goal, he's laughing. His team's not. They wanted more than that. Graham Corns would have dragged him.
Well, he had an opportunity, and so gave the ball away, sign of a lack of confidence, got it back, and when he's looking at goals, Guy, when he was playing at my breed, he would have done better than that. It's just a big stage for him at the moment.
Port Adelaide going through the middle. Rowan Smith with the hat. As Port Adelaide bring the ball out of side. Rosonico and Baker. Rosonico's kick, ordinary. Sets up his teammate. The rocket goes charging through. Well, it's a charity game, Graham, but there is a bit of push and shove. Let's check out the interchange, Mark Soderstrom.
Well, we've got a change already, Bruce. Paul Rouvre's come off with a broken fingernail, obviously too hot. Look at the condition of him. He has no intention of going out there again. He's come off the ground, and he's going to be joined on the bench here by Paul Patterson, Mark Bisker, Eddie Hocking, and Shane Tongery.
Ball goes out wide to Donald Dickey, sporting a normal haircut. To Setri, inside to Stephen Williams. Wants to have a shot from 40 metres, bends it around the corner, pack back there, forced through. Port Adelaide on the board with 1 point. Mark Tyler, Ken Farmer medalist as well, Graham. So there's plenty of football history and success out on this park.
And he looks in pretty good nick, Mark Tyler. He's kicked 100 goals in the season, but Michael Murphy just in the right spot at the right time there.
Adelaide, 1 goal to Matthew Liptak. Port Adelaide inside their 50 at the moment. The umpires picked out a free kick.
Well, see, this is always the worry in these games, that the umpires feel they have to even the game up.
And it's going to Damien Morey. Now, we talk about Guy Sebastian playing. We know he can sing. Can he play football? Well, we know Damien Morey can certainly play soccer, both for Adelaide City and Perth Glory.
Record holder in goal. He looks pretty good with the footy.
Goes from 50. Big pack back there. Murphy again with a fist. Hasn't gone out. Rowan Smith gets it back to Setri. Goes to ground. Used to look like Hulk Hogan until all his hair got shaved off. Adelaide under pressure now. Maynard working it out.
Oh, good
ordinary pass.
No, we said pressure from Stephen Williams caused the turnover.
Baker in the way. Gets it off to Geneva. He couldn't kick 50 if he had to with a tail wind. Kicks it towards the outer side. Mark paid. And Grant Filkey takes it.
Well, and a very courageous mark. They were coming from everywhere. The ball hung up in the air. He had to sit under it. He had to wait for it. Kept his eyes on it.
Great first year for the Adelaide Crows back in 91, Graham.
He was. He's a very good player anyway.
As you can tell by the crowd, Mark Wiedemann has it. Goes long.
Fitzgerald.
Big fly.
Oh. Well, they've come to see him. Forget he was a very, very good footballer.
Unfortunately, had some problem with knee injuries, but 6'5" or 6'6" and can play football, Graham. Every club wanted him going. Damien Morey goes for a run, gets tackled, plays on, gets to 40, goes towards the goals, and slots it. Damien Morey, don't worry about points. He plays soccer. They only deal in goals.
This 7 News Update brought to you by AMP, helping you plan your financial future.
Good evening. A man held up the BP service station at St Peters just before 6:30 this evening. After threatening the attendant with a syringe, he escaped with a small amount of cash and fled on foot down Harrow Road. And one of the world's largest oil rigs has been towed to South Australian waters from Norway. Named Jack Bates, it's 42 metres high and 112 metres long. Santos says it will drill 2 wells here in the search for oil. To tomorrow's weather, almost a carbon copy of today. We're heading for a top of 24 degrees after an overnight low of 9.
An AMP financial planner can help you choose from a wide range of investment options.
I look forward to making more from my investments.
And from 30 leading investment companies, Not just one, and not just ours.
I look forward to my super working a lot harder.
I look forward to someone showing me how to get there.
If you need help planning your financial future, talk to an AMP financial planner.
I look forward to a good future for my kids.
A dog in optimum condition has a sense of smell 1,000 times stronger than that of a human. But optimum condition demands optimum nutrition. Developed with Waltham, the world's leading authority on pet care and nutrition, Optimum is enriched with antioxidants that support the immune system and help improve the health of your dog. New Optimum. It's nutrition for life.
Wool carpet below cost. Sensational news. Let's cross to our raving reporter, Brompton Bob.
Thanks, Jeff. Look at this. Wool carpets below cost. You can do a whole room real cheap. Imported quality vinyl, same price as this cheap stuff. Jeffrey, why would you want that? And look at the range of this top quality vinyl. And pallets of floating floors. The Brompton Bulk Store open 7 days.
Bobby, don't forget Sunday.
I just said Sunday, Sundo.
With SGIC car insurance, if your car is written off in the first 2 years and you're the first registered owner, we can replace it with a new one. That should be a big help. Call 133 233.
There's so much more in New Idea.
This week, a bonus travel magazine celebrating 500 episodes of the great outdoors. There are 500 mini breaks to win, or a trip to London, plus 100 great deals. New Idea. It's more for you. Out now.
Hello?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, Daddy. When are you coming?
9:30 flight tomorrow.
Cool. Come in.
Who's that?
Oh, it's just room service. It's only a snack, Daddy. Come in.
Who's that?
The boat hire guy. Mummy and I are planning to...
The great thing about Qantas frequent flyer points is the whole family can enjoy them.
Sweetheart, perhaps you better put your mother on.
Sorry, Daddy. She's having a massage. And then after, we're going to have a facial and I'm going to get my nails done hot pink.
Long handball, Peter Caven, right in the centre circle. Goes inside 50 and Tony Mott's there all by himself. You wouldn't exactly leave him all by himself. Over the top, the Guy Sebastian in the goal square. And that's what the crowd wanted. Adelaide second, Guy Sebastian's first. And Paul Northeast with the throw to match. Won't be happy with that.
Well, I think Paul Northeast is intimidated by Guy Sebastian. I never thought I'd say that about Paul Northeast, but he's given him too much room. I think he might be just concerned about getting physically close to him. But great vision by Peter Caven, found Tony Modra. Modra unselfishly, unusual for full forward, unselfishly, passed it off to Sebastian right in the goal square, and he gets his first goal up. The Crows second.
Now, another word, diplomatic, might be a word to use for Paul Northeast, letting Guy Sebastian get amongst the scorers early, Graham. If he gets a couple more, I can't imagine Northeast will let him get him that easy. Back in the middle. Hayes trying to find his way through traffic. Does. McGuinness, familiar left foot. Out wide to Grant Filkey. The Crows will go inside 50 once again. This time Northeast right with Guy Sebastian. He's had his goal, he's had his moment. They're going to be a bit harder from now on for the pro. Mark Soderstrom.
Down here with Greg Phillips. Just about to have a little bit of a chat here. Now, Paul Northeast, is he intimidated by Guy Sebastian? What's going on?
Oh, he is at the moment. It's a bit of a disgrace. He's just giving him too much attitude. He's just got to tighten up there, you know. If he wants to look like him, he's got to play like him. I think Guy's doing all right at the moment, so he's got to tighten up there.
How many goals does the pro kick before you make a change?
I think one more. As you can see, George Fiarchi just come off with broken ribs at the moment, so that's a bit of a concern to us. So it looks like I'll be on in a minute. So
good on you, Greg.
Okay, thanks, fellas.
I was going to ask Greg Phillips, has he got any intention of going out here? It's 21 degrees, it's warm.
One of the nicest guys to play football, one of the best players ever to play, Greg Phillips.
Well, Tony McGuinness had a shot for goal, missed wildly. Boundary throwing, Greg Anderson gets it down. Rowan Smith tackle. Tony Modra bobs up with it. The umpire steps in and will ball it up 20 metres out from the Adelaide goal.
A couple of these Crows boys looking really good. Rodney Maynard, Tony Modra still playing, of course.
Playing down at Encounter Bay, enjoying life on the farm and catching plenty of waves as Tony Modra. Paul Northeast gets a touch.
Strong tackle from Guy Sebastian.
He's out playing with guys he probably would have watched as he grew up playing football, both for Adelaide and Port Adelaide. Ball into the centre square. Aaron Phillips gets a handball off the dick. He puts him under pressure. Ordinary kick out wide. Found its target, though. Mark Tyler.
He's been busy early, Mark Tyler.
That means he won't be later. Long kick, one-on-one.
Rod Jamison.
Scotty Cummings in front.
Well, when someone the size of Scott Cummings gets in front, it's very hard to move him, and Jamo really needed to jump on him.
Well, they both jumped, Graham, but they didn't get that high off the ground.
You've got to make body contact. You can't stand behind and leap off the ground.
I think they're the first minute of Showdown 1. These two will go down in South Australian football history. Toe-to-toe. Rod Jamison threw about 40 punches, got 3 weeks for it. But Scotty Cummings has the ball now, 40 metres out, just leans back beautifully. Makes no mistake, and Port Adelaide suddenly have 2 goals. 2-1 leading Adelaide, 2 goals. Mark Soderstrom.
Now, Lippy, I think I was a little bit harsh on Rouvre. I said he perhaps broke a fingernail. Could be a little more, couldn't it?
Yeah, just a touch more than a fingernail. It's interesting, these slow-down games. We're all old and not as fit as we used to be. But, yeah, about 5 minutes into the quarter, Rouvre obviously did a compound dislocation of his left little finger. So he's a bit sore and sorry for himself and cursing the game once again. He had a few injuries when he played, so...
The Crows, ordinary handball. Maynard, turnover. Coming through Clayton Lamb, the run of Mark Bickley, his short pass out wide. Tony Modra, is anyone on Mod? No one wants to go near him.
Who was on Modra?
Time for a couple of bounces, has 3, runs himself out, chips it back unselfishly into the corridor, and Ryan Fitzgerald gets poleaxed.
Paul Northeast has been doing that all day. All day.
He's been doing that all.
Now, Ryan Fitzgerald, well, he was a really good player. Sydney Swans, Adelaide, struck down by knee injuries. Made his name in the Big Brother household, but now, of course, a breakfast personality on Nova 91.9 and very, very popular. Slots it through, runs to the crowd, and they love it. He is an absolute superstar, Ryan Fitzgerald.
Ryan Fitzgerald, as we keep saying, you forget he could play football, Graham, struck down by injury, and he'll be enjoying his time out here as well, because it has been a pretty busy year for him.
Well, he was a first-round draft pick for Sydney, of course, and we were wanting to see him play at his best. But having been evicted from the Big Brother household when he was, one of the favourites to win it, he's just had one endless procession of appearances, and now working breakfast radio. Now, breakfast radio is difficult anyway, so he'll be enjoying the run around.
Talking breakfast radio, Lemo comes out of the centre square and finds Tony Modra with a kick. Wants to go out wider. There he is, the throw. Dropped it. Absolute sitter.
Sun was in his eyes, though, Abba.
Paul Northeast wouldn't have been saying anything as Guy Sebastian. Drop it, give us 10, says his opponent, Paul Northeast. Boundary throw-in. One of the deep pockets of Adelaide Oval. Over the top, Tony Modra taps it into the square. Paul Northeast, that is underneath that afro. Goes long with the handball.
Rowan Smith.
The Ghost brings it in. He was one man who trained very, very hard at the Crown last week. Rowan Smith.
This is Damien Murray. Look at the pace here.
They won't catch him.
That's unbelievable.
Carried at 50, goes inside the 50. Short pass.
That's the play of the day. Damien Murray cutting them to pieces.
It is the first quarter, Graham. Mark Tyler.
Darren Mead.
Goes across, Meady goes up, runs down off Ryan Fitzgerald. Some poor defence from the Frizy.
Yeah, well, you kick a goal, you sit back, you congratulate yourself.
I think he's still celebrating with the crowd at the other end.
You luxuriate in the fact that you're a big star, and Ryan Fitzgerald 100 metres away from Darren Mead. Chris McDermott won't be happy with that.
Darren Mead, 30 metres out, just slots it beautifully to put Port Adelaide back in front.
Well, I thought he was in a bit of trouble, Meady, with Fitzgerald, who had been... I thought he was in a bit of trouble early with Ryan Fitzgerald, who'd been very busy, but that's the way the centre-half back makes them think. Run off them. Does the centre-half forward stay there, or does he have to follow them down? Mark Soderstrom on the boundary.
I've got Mark Biscuit. Mark, you got a taste of it just for a minute or so when Lippy come off. What's it like out there?
It's pretty warm. The paces are pretty hectic and frantic, as you can see. Lucky enough, I was... able to suck a few kicks out wide by myself, so it's good to get on and come and have a rest now.
What was the crowd like out there?
The crowd is huge, actually. There's a few guys get their hands on it, and they're very loud and vocal, as you can hear.
Good on you, Mark.
Cheers, mate.
Ball goes inside. Northeast lost his head, or at least lost his wig.
He's lifted his intensity a little bit, Paul Northeast. He's looking for a few casualties.
8-time premiership player with the Port Adelaide Magpies. on Guy Sebastian. Kicks to air by McGuinness, finds Modra. That's the difference, isn't it, Graham? You can actually continue to play the game. You don't lose too much.
Well, he put it up well. Was that Russell Boyd tried to come over the top? And Modra stood his ground well. He's very, very strong in that situation.
Kicked 100 goals for Encounter Bay down at Victor Harbour in their league this season. And that is his first for the Adelaide Crows in Slowdown 5.
And I must say, in an Adelaide forward line, looks very inexperienced when you've got Limo, Guy Sebastian and Ryan Fitzgerald there. Tony Modra has been sensational. He's been by far the busiest forward.
Tony Modra, 129 goals with Adelaide in 1993, off to Freo. Certainly did some good work there as well. Now retired and enjoying life on the farm. Port Adelaide working away from the middle. Braden Lyle on the right foot, kicks it towards centre half forward. Caven puts his boot up, didn't get off the ground. The farmer from Lamoureux, Rocket Maynard, gets it out wide to Sean Tasker. Skills are still there. Finds McGuinness. Out wide, Clayton Lamb. Handball's almost inside 50. The doctor back on the ground. And there's Guy Sebastian all by himself. Doesn't got.
Oh, gee, that the siren had sounded before he took that, Abba.
Hometown decision.
And maybe with the roar of the crowd, the umpire couldn't. I mean, the quarter doesn't officially stop until the umpire hears the siren.
Guy Sebastian doing the Matthew Lloyd with the grass. Let's face back. Huge crowd here. They've come to see Guy Sebastian. The umpires wouldn't dare take it off him for his second goal of the quarter. Just steps back and puts it out of bounds on the full.
Well, he leant back on it.
Well, he certainly leant back on it. It was an ordinary kick, but the Crows get their first point. They lead 4-1, 25, leading Port Adelaide 3-2-20 at the end of the first quarter. Slowdown 5.
Will the wrong person be accused of a crime he didn't commit?
Were you or were you not responsible for vandalising the kiosk?
Guilty or not, tomorrow.
Adelaide Football Club Captain's Collection. This is a beautifully framed and personally autographed Adelaide football jumper with the exclusive signatures of the 4 captains. This piece is AFL approved and comes with a letter of authenticity, and all proceeds will go to support the work of the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation. This limited edition piece is priced at $880 and includes GST and delivery. Phone 83660600 now to secure your piece of SA football history. Limited to 50 only. Phone now.
I'm aiming for fewer wrinkles and firmer skin.
L'Oreal Paris creates new Revitalift for visible results in 4 hours. Action 1. Nanosomes Pro-Retinol A penetrate deep to the heart of wrinkles. Action 2. Dermolastil, an innovation from L'Oreal Paris, works to help firm skin for visible results.
Smooth wrinkles, visibly firm skin in 4 hours.
I win.
New Revitalift from L'Oreal Paris.
Because you're worth it.
And now, please welcome Balfour's new baby, born and bred right here in SA. It's Balfour's Bread! White, wholemeal, and multigrain too. What a range! Balfour's, legends in the baking.
Victory Blinds' genuine end-of-season clearance is on now, with up to 40% off Australia's biggest range of blinds and curtains. 131399.
In a cafe, everyone's cup of coffee.
Experience the greatest adventures, life-changing moments, and the bits you weren't meant to see. One truly amazing hour. The Great Outdoors 500th show, tonight on 7.
Well, first quarter, entertaining first quarter in Slowdown 5. The Crows leading 4 straight goals after Guy Sebastian missed an absolute sitter on the siren, missed everything. They lead Port Adelaide 3-2-20 in hot, sunny conditions on the boundary. Enjoying them is Mark Soderstrom.
Well, very entertaining first quarter. Over at the Port Adelaide huddle, bucket loads of sweat dripping off the players there. Lots of huffing and puffing. Timmy Ginniver trying to take over there. He's just been appointed assistant coach of the Maggies, and he's just trying to run the whole day here. But the word really, they're just talking about the antics after last week's AFL Grand Final, sharing plenty of stories. And over at the Crows, well, Chris McDermott broke the news to his players that Paul Rouvray is in trouble and won't return. The only reply from Sean Tasker, get him to strap that finger up and get back out there.
Well, the game's underway in the second term, charging through Tony McGuinness after this McDermott combo. McDermott, of course, the coach for the Crows today, taking over from Graham Corn, sitting alongside me.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
You'd rather be out there, I know, Graham, but you're doing a great job here.
And the cheerio to Chris Dittmar, too.
Yes, Chris was meant to join us in the commentary box, but he's on his sick bed, apparently. So he tells us. Port Adelaide working it away through half-back. Braden Lyle kicks towards centre wing. In the way, Caven puts up one mid, can't catch it.
Two hands, Peter, come on.
You let her show off in Slowdown, Graham?
It's a lack of confidence and you go one hand.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. Ball goes towards centre half forward for Adelaide, standing on the way. Solid mark back there by Port Adelaide.
Braden Lyle has been very good for Port Adelaide, actually.
Kicks it out wide. Greg Anderson. Speeds from his day. No, the tape's not on slow-mo. Left foot mongrel kick towards centre wing. Getting back there. The Weed has support. Rocket Maynard. Wants to play on. Finally does. Not a real lot of close checking going on, Graham.
No, he'd be very disappointed with the defensive action of Port Adelaide's forward line.
Ball out wide. The Crows trying to work it forward. Clayton Lamb trying to get into the commentary box. He doesn't want to be up there anymore, but Mark Bickley does and has the ball on the outer side. 1 year out of the game. His kick finds Darren Mead. Quickly plays on. Ordinary handball, just a bit of lairising there to Stephen Williams. Goes to ground. Umpire says play it on. Russell Boyd gets it further afield. Damien Morrie's already showed plenty of pace. Can't get clear. Holding the man. Gets the free kick. Wants to play an advantage. The umpire says he actually lets it happen. The umpire's getting into it as well. Aaron Phillips, short pass, takes it 45 metres out. That's a player running past.
Braden Lyle again. He's covering too much ground at the moment. He's going to run out of steam. In a game like this, you've got to conserve it.
There's 35 other players saying he's covering too much ground as well, Graham. I think there's some unwritten rules in slowdowns, and one of them is that you don't cover too much ground.
Oh, beautiful touch from Aaron Phillips. The kick from Braden Lyle just a touch too high. She got one hand to it. She has exquisite skills. All-Australian basketballer, of course, but as a young girl played in open competition with the guys, and was a very, very good footballer.
Aaron Phillips has been a star in all of the slowdowns. Kicks from 40 metres out, long, straight, and Port Adelaide had their fourth goal. Aaron Phillips has her first.
Eddie Hocking.
The scud. No one to dodge around, so he had to kick without some fancy work. Maynard.
This is better.
Off to Wiedemann to Tongaree. Players running down. Short pass inside. And running onto it beautifully there, Grant Filkey wanted to go on. Now it's Mark Bickley, tackled into the ground by Paul Northeast, who's lost the throw.
Well, it was a good lead from Guy Sebastian, and I'm sure that's where Shane Tongaree was directing the kick, but Mark Bickley running back. You just can't quell that competitive instinct.
So Mark Bickley spoiling the big crowd their fun. They wanted another Guy Sebastian goal. Well, I'm sure they'll be happy with Mark Bickley slots it. Dual premiership captain of the Adelaide Crows, 30 metres out, and nails it.
Yeah. Well, he might have kicked the goal, Bruce, but the coach wouldn't be that happy taking the full forward space.
Graham Corns analysing all the coaching moves up here in the 7 commentary box. Chris McDermott, he says, isn't doing a great job.
Well, normally in a game like this, the Crows bounce out to a good solid start.
Ball back in the middle. Port Adelaide leading by 1 point. Big fist away. Setri charging onto it. So too Hocking. Setri bobs up with the ball. Goes inside the 50 just. Picks out Wayne Wiedemann. Crows running it down the outer side now. McGuinness He'll have to have a long rest at half-time. Getting plenty of it. Kick finds Tongaree. Wants to get on quickly. Ordinary kick. Gets another chance. Left foot again. Snaps it round the corner. Northeast back there. So too Fitzgerald. Gets the handle off the Lee. Can he pick it up? No, he can't. Finally gets it to Lemo. He can't do anything with it. And Rowan Smith bobs up with the ball. Finds Rosonico. Port Adelaide relieves the pressure. Braden Lyle charging through the centre square with a handball to Stephen Williams. Has a look around. Goes out wide. Good kick. Simon Tregenza's made space.
Well, tell me Simon Tregenza's coaching in Port Lincoln next year. Is that true?
He could. There's a bit of family history back there. Ends up with Lyle on the 50. Tyler's back there. One grab, two grabs. I was looking for Damien Murray for the soccer tactics. But the Lamoureux farmer, Rocket Maynard, charges through for a boundary throw-in. On the boundary, Mark Soderstrom.
Now, Barry, I'm going to give you the right of reply. Graham Corns has been very scathing about your participation today.
I think it's a clear case of sour grapes with Cornsey because he's not coaching. He was actually in our rooms before the game wanting a game himself. Because we wouldn't give him one, he has to pick on someone like me who's trained all year for it, and I'm ready to go. I'm a bit angry with Graham over that comment. I think it's a bit unfair, and he's a Port man. He's barraging for Port today. He should be supportive. Graham?
That is not the first lie. That is not the first lie that Barry Curtin's told.
Just look at that bench there.
In fact, was that Barry or his father?
Oh, Mark, while you're down there, because just over Barry's shoulder, you might find Dave Arnfield, Port Adelaide, the Powers runner. And he was heavily involved in their training session at the Crown Casino last Saturday night.
Oh, hang on. Don't worry about that, Bruce. He is on the lip, and I have heard him all day. In fact, I've got him. Dave, now, Bruce Abernathy is scathing about you. It's just slander going everywhere upstairs.
Oh, look, the message has been pretty slow. I had a call from the zoo for Scotty Hummings. He wants his arse back after the game, but apart from that, it's been pretty quiet out here. It's pretty tense, only a point the difference, so we're looking to put our big guns on. We've got Barry Curtin on now, so anything could happen.
Abba said you were best on ground at the casino too Thursday night.
Well, yeah, I played all right there. I haven't been home for a week, so yeah, wherever I was at the casino, that's great. Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you.
Dave Arnfield now, Graham Corns also has a love-hate relationship with the Port Adelaide runner as well.
I'm actually trying to ignore him because the more publicity you give him, the worse he gets. Crow's fiddling around with it.
They have a boundary throw-in, half forward left. Adelaide going towards the northern end here. The Scud reads it beautifully. The skills are still there. The legs maybe aren't. Greg Phillips unloads him, but the kick goes long towards the goals. And Mark Bickley and the agitator Scotty Lee combine as Adelaide hit the front.
Good evening. A lovely day on the way tomorrow. On local waters, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots, reaching 15 knots with seas to 1 metre. A mainly fine and slightly warmer day ahead. After 9 overnight, it should climb to a beautiful 24 degrees. Looking ahead, warm and overcast on Wednesday, cooler with showers on Thursday, fine on Friday, and looking pretty good for the weekend. Fine, warm and sunny.
As Mayor, Mark Latham increased council borrowings by 45% in his last year alone, leaving the next council a huge financial mess. If Mark Latham can't manage a local council, how can he manage Australia's $800 billion economy?
Authorised B. Nine, Liverpool, Bay, Canberra.
Assured's home loan at almost 1% below the banks. What does that really mean?
Imagine this, a new car, holiday or home extension. Do you have dreams today? It's easy. With the equity in your home, you can have that new car, kitchen, all with the same monthly repayments.
So by refinancing with Assured at almost 1% below the banks, means I could have today's dreams today.
You can do it. Call Assured now and we'll show you how.
The Muses massive spring clean-out. CDs are being cleaned out across all stores. Audio Slave, ELO, John Mayer, Santana, Silverchair, Something for Kate, Missy Elliott, Matchbox 20, Honey Soundtrack, plus hundreds more. Not $30, a squeaky clean $9.95. Yes, $9.95. 5 CD box sets, original artists, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, plus more. Not $50 now, a fresh $19.95. New albums from Black Eyed Peas, D12 and Guns N' Roses, only $14.95. The Muses massive spring clean-out. Get in before we get cleaned out.
As Mayor, Mark Latham increased council borrowings by 45% in his last year alone, leaving the next council a huge financial mess. If Mark Latham can't manage a local council, how can he manage Australia's $800 billion economy?
Authorised B. Nine, Liverpool Valley, Canberra.
On 7's Crime Primetime Wednesday.
It is over between us. We had a fling and it's finished.
If you can't use your weapon when required to save someone's life, then you're no use to me in the job.
It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. A special Blue Healers, Wednesday on 7.
Then,
When he claimed his first victim, his killer did something completely out of the ordinary.
2 years later, a second victim. A killer deliberately leaving clues but covering every track except one.
I was 90% sure that it was my brother.
Forensic investigators on 7's Crime Primetime Wednesday.
So Chris McDermott, pretty strong disciplinarian down there, Graham, doing some good work in the coach's box. Port Adelaide in the goal square. Bartlett back there.
Well, he was very scathing about Limo before the game. Instead of building him up in the pre-match address, his only words were, what sort of a name is Limo?
Here goes Jamison and Cummins out there again. There's more punches being thrown and no one's being hit. A bit like Slowdown 1.
Actually, Jamo connected a few times in Slowdown 1, and I think Scotty Cummins thought it was a bit of a joke for a while till the first couple landed.
Plenty of tension before that first slowdown too. First showdown, actually. We're at the slowdown now. Slowdown 5. Great exercise for the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation. Bulldogs half forward. Aaron Phillips now on the pro. Guy Sebastian drops a sitter.
Well, there's some close checking there by Aaron.
Aaron gets out the autograph book, doesn't need it, ends up with Caven. All by himself in the square, Tony Modra. He's kicked about 600 goals. You'd reckon someone to get near him. Gets onto the right boot back into the centre. And then Paul Patterson showing off with a drop kick goal. And the Crows move along to 7-1, starting to split Port Adelaide wide open. The Port team 5-2.
Well, I know it's a bit of fun, but there's actually quite a good lesson in this passage of play. Tony Modra lost control of it. It was gone deep into the pocket, and these Adelaide Oval pockets are really deep. But instead of trying to shoot for goal, he's actually hooked it back to the top of the square. And Paul Patterson ran there. That's exactly where it went, fell into his arms. And quite an easy goal, but...
Gee, you make some good excuses. He was having a shot, Graham. It didn't come off.
He was centering it to the top of the square.
That's what he claims now, anyway. Back in the middle, the good Dr. Liptak.
He's been busy.
Certainly has. Eddie Hocking rolls onto that one. There was a little barrel charging through there, centre half forward, wearing number 8. Gets it out to Liptak, short on the left. Shane Tongri, diving mark, 30 metres out.
Fairly significant momentum shift in this game now. Matty Liptak's come in and been busy. He's been instrumental in a couple of these forward thrusts, and Shane Tongri has found some space, so danger time for Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide trail by 11 points. Shane Tongri with a chance to put the Crows even further in front. Gets back. An ordinary looking kick. Makes the distance.
No, he's not happy.
No accuracy. Mark Soderstrom.
Steve Williams, just come off the ground. Look like you're moving pretty well. Yeah, just a bit of a planned rotation, Soders. But looking at our bench there's not too much more to rotate with. So we've got to be a bit thin towards the end of the game, but the guys are going all right. Been a big week for the Williams family. It's been great. Yeah, really pleased for Mark and the club that they were able to win the grand final, and just nice to be able to let our head and have a bit of fun today. Thanks, Steve. No worries. Thanks, mate.
Port Adelaide defence, some ordinary skill errors back there. They're under pressure. They'll be waiting for the half-time siren.
Yes, and Barry Curtin just skirting the pack. Not like Port Adelaide players. You normally see them in the thick of the action, but...
look at Barry Curtin's legs. He's been sunbaking in the
27 on the bottom left-hand side of your screen there.
Coming away. Pays high. Out of side. Greg Phillips is out there.
Oh.
Don't worry about catching it, just fished it 25 metres. It's effective. Anderson's there as Fitzgerald gives chase. Passes towards northeast. Went for the Sri Lankan slips catch. Umpire wasn't silly. Play on, and Peter Caven has it for the Crows. Goes backwards and finds Tony McGuinness.
Yeah, good player today, Tony McGuinness, and using the ball well.
Good player any day, Graham.
Well, yeah, particularly.
Comes out wide to Tasker. If you find the paddock he's been in, let us know. Scotty Lee, centre wing just inside the boundary. Showing off with a drop kick pass. Showing off far too much. Rowan Smith went to ground. Greg Phillips has it. Goes out wide to Greg Anderson.
I think Barry Kern's going to get his first kick here. What can he do?
There's a little bounce.
Oh, would you look at that.
Fancy on the left. Ordinary kick. Put northeast under the hammer. But McGuinness gave away the free kick.
Well, that's making a mockery of the game, isn't it?
For Tony McGuinness?
No.
Barry Kern.
Barry Kern.
Damien Murray's got the ball, but the umpire said no play on advantage. Back to Paul Northeast at the 50. Familiar, Butter and Gainley kicking style. Goes inside, pass, mark wasn't taken. Liptak now. The Crows midfield rotation working a lot better than Port Adelaide's, Graham.
Well, Matt Liptak and McGuinness have been terrific. Wayne Wiedemann tried to kick off his right boot, looking for Eddie Hocking, and the ball just dribbles out of bounds, but criticised in his playing day for not having a right boot, a natural left footer, of course. It's not that funny, Weed.
And judging by that right foot kick, that's why he always kicked left foot. Half-time, Adelaide leading 7-2-44. Port Adelaide 5-2-32 in Slowdown 5.
Western Slowdown 5, presented by Brower Natural Medicines, Sky City, West End, Melonhead Melons, Bunnings, and Adelaide's Today Tonight.
You know who they are. They're good at what they do. But the question is, can they dance?
It's just a jump to the right.
Watch Australia's stars step on each other's toes to win in the all-new dance craze. Daryl Summers is returning to TV for Dancing with the Stars, starting Tuesday 7:30 on 7.
Everyone knows the Reserve Bank sets interest rates. So who do you believe? John Howard or Australia's most respected Reserve Bank Governor, Bernie Fraser? He says Mr. Howard's claims about interest rates under Labor are scare tactics, and he's not alone. 14 of Australia's leading economic experts say interest rates will be the same under either party. Don't believe Mr. Howard. We all know he'd say anything to get elected. He's unbelievable.
Authorised by T. Gartrell, ALP Barton.
Temperzone is the specialist in ducted air conditioning, made tough for Australian conditions, providing year-round comfort.
Call 1-800-21-1800 for your free brochure and Heating and Cooling Solutions DVD from Temperzone, Australia's ducted air specialists.
You know, there's been a lot of wild claims about paint lately, but let me give you the drum. I paint for a living, and the one paint I rely on is Solver Maxi Wash. For an unbeatable interior finish, it wipes the rest away.
The entries are in for the L'Oreal Paris Face That Stops the Nation. After an extensive nationwide search, 5 lucky finalists will soon find themselves in Melbourne for the Cup Carnival and 2 weeks of ultimate indulgence, while being transformed by the best in the business with a L'Oreal Paris beauty and fashion makeover. Be watching the Melbourne Cup Carnival live on 7 when we reveal who will be the 2004 L'Oreal Paris Face That Stops the Nation.
Saving water is important. Will your garden survive?
Relax. Don't worry. By using Yates reliable garden products, your plants become stronger, healthier, and better equipped to survive tough conditions. Many Yates products are designed to conserve water, which helps your garden stay wet even when it's dry. So it'll look great come rain or shine. Yates, it's a growing way of life, man.
Cool. Cool. Art Cool. For cooling, get an air conditioner. For cooling with artistic finish, get LG Art Cool Inverter. The art of cooling. LG Art Cool. LG. Life's good.
Adelaide Oval, half-time of Slowdown 5, and it is the Adelaide team, 7-2-44, leading Port Adelaide 5-2-32 at the long break. And it has been a long break because the teams, as they came back onto Adelaide Oval, they jogged for about 10 metres, then it was down to a walk. To find out what's happening with the ground, Mark Soderstrom and Chris McDermott.
Thanks, Bruce. Chris, fantastic first half. Great support by the crowd. Now, I believe you've made some changes. We might see the throw in the middle of the ground.
Well, he is in the middle. He's got to stand up, though. His first half, very disappointing. Some soft hands. He prefers himself to be in the middle of the ground, so he's in the middle. Fitzgerald to full forward. Well, we need to kick some goals in the third quarter because they're out on their feet. I'm telling you, they haven't got too many shots left.
I believe Matthew Liptak was working harder in the rooms at half-time treating players than he was out in the ground.
Yeah, it'd be fair to say the doctor's had a lot of work to do, and not too many kicks for the doc, but he saved a few lives.
Thanks, Bone. And Port Adelaide, they're in trouble as well. George Archie, his ribs are gone. Craig Ebert, he's gone to Queensland. He hopped on a plane and he's out of here. Michael Armfield's now playing.
And look, Guy Sebastian in the centre of the ground, straight into the action. A good, strong attack on the ball there, Bruce. Been rewarded with a free kick.
Wearing the #1 jumper, and Chris McDermott in his first outing as coach of the Crows team, doing a wonderful job, Graham.
Not that good.
Taken over, of course, from Graham Corns. Sacked. Crows inside 50. Modra on his knees at the back of the pack. Judged it beautifully and took a safe mark.
He just judged it far better than the two in front. I think Peter Caven was up early. Tony Modra might have been surprised that on his knees the ball fell into his arms. He'll try something tricky here, I think. It looks straightforward, but I think he'll make it a bit more difficult than what it is.
Port Adelaide will have to avoid a blowout, Graham. They trailed by 4 at quarter time, 12 at half-time.
He's got the drop kick.
It could get worse, but not this time. The drop kick across the ground, out of bounds on the full in one of those deep Adelaide Oval pockets. Full northeast, Mungrel Tor back in, finds Baker. Short, Anderson brings it out wide. Take a little while for these old legs to get going again, Graham.
Well, Damien Murray has found, boundary umpire very lack there, and Murray scintillating, cutting them to pieces.
Looks like the only Port Adelaide player with any run at the moment. Butted up again, went through his hands, gets a second chance. Handball from Greg Phillips to Bond. Back to Murray, 45 metres out. No distance in the kick, and the Crows relieve it. Through Wayne Wiedemann. Finds Jamison, close to the boundary. Jennifer went for a fly over Troy Bond. Couldn't get it. Grant Filkey it was. Ends up with Peter Caven for the Crows. Short pass. In there looking. Ando didn't know which way to go. The doctor's there. Matthew Liptak. Run off his feet at half-time. Has to play football as well. Mark Soderstrom.
Rowan, half-time, couple of goals down. What did Greg have to say?
Look, he was very pumped up, actually. He was disappointed with our disposal, especially in the second quarter. And he just kick it long now. Stop mucking around with the footy. We're a big chance to win it. We've got to get back to a level playing field against this mob. He was pumped up, so's all the other boys, and we're ready to go now.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you.
Well, the Crows let Port Adelaide off once again. Tonga, snap wide.
Well, no excuse for that Shane Tonga here. Directly in front of goals, facing the goal, off the side of his boot.
Ball back in.
Troy Bond, that's a very well judged mark.
It's a very good mark. Chips it out wide, has the run out there. Simon Agenza has a couple of days to pick it up. He'll need it.
Not quite as dashing as I remember Trigger to be.
He's a little bit older. We all keep thinking he's 18. Found Barry Curtin, good with the skills. To Setri. Port Adelaide now the chance. Aaron Phillips takes the mark. 30 metres out. What's the play on? Centres it to Stephen Williams. Gets a push. That's a free kick. And the umpire steps in, and Stephen Williams will go back from 20 metres out directly in front. Aaron Phillips.
Yeah, good awareness. She just knows what to do with a ball, whether it's a football or a basketball. She looks to give it to advantage. And she realised she was too deep in the pocket, then looked for the player moving down the centre of the ground. Stephen Williams always plays well in these games.
Enjoyed last week's game where his brother coached his first AFL flag. Goes with a drop kick and goals. Stephen Williams gets Port Adelaide back into it. They move along. 6-2, still trailing the Crows. 7-3.
Good evening. Major crime detectives are investigating the mysterious death of a man at Elizabeth Downs. Ambulance crews initially suspected a heroin overdose, but called in police when they noticed wounds on the body. Neighbours report hearing arguments and gunshots from the Loftus Street home. And US aviation authorities are preparing a report on the death of a stunt pilot at an air show in New Mexico. His plane went into uncontrolled downward spirals and exploded on impact. To the weather, and another fine and sunny day for Adelaide. We're heading for a top tomorrow of 24 degrees.
The defence that's nothing short of controversial.
I'm attracted to you.
Seducing a judge.
You are a very sexy man.
Is just the start.
Was that sexual?
He's the Emmy Award-winning Best Actor. Now you'll see why.
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
The new practice.
It pays to talk to your insurance broker or advisor about CGU Business Insurance, because we put ourselves in your shoes. Always make it our business to understand your business, your particular needs, and the things that make your occupation special. Together, we'll come up with CGU Business Insurance that's tailor-made for you, because whoever you are, whatever you do.
We put the U in CGU.
Richmond, Gillis Plains, Parafield and new store at Noarlunga.
Solving crime can be a real puzzle. Many crimes are solved with the community's help. So far, more than 11,000 crimes have been solved through calls to Bank SA Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous and your information may complete the puzzle.
The music of Led Zeppelin will live forever. And the Zepp Boys are back to rock you. Don't miss the Zepp Boys live at the Gov, presented by Mario Maiolo, October 8th and 9th. Book at the Governor Hind Marshall venue ticks.
Trish is very important to Parliament. There are few people in Parliament with Trish's intimate knowledge of the healthcare system. It's very important that we maintain that knowledge in Parliament.
Trish Worth gets things done for Adelaide.
Authorised B. Name Nibble Valley, Canberra.
Her conscience, her credibility, her career, all on the line.
Get out of my emergency department.
All Saints at the special time, Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
Gets back up. Has a second chance. Flicks the handball out wider. Coming to pick it up, the Crows once again with a chance inside their forward 50. Coming out, Donald Dickey picks it up, loses it. Coming through, Dr. Liptak gets taken head high by Tim Ginniver's leg. Ball up.
He doesn't know how to play half-pace, Matthew Liptak. It wasn't the most skilled footballer, but everything he did with passion and 100% commitment and intensity.
And he'd still be super fit. Loved his running, loved his training. There's something wrong with the man. Tap out, Tongaree to Modra. Bounces beautifully. Mod's on the right, snaps it around. And that's a contender for the Kentish Arms. Goal today, Tony Modra.
Well, it's been a good move of Chris McDermott. I don't like to give him too much credit for anything in this game, but Modra onto the ball, taking the ruck and creating havoc for Port Adelaide as he streams into the forward line there. Now just making his way back to the centre square. This is a sensational effort by Tony Modra. Still playing, of course, at Encounter Bay. Up against big David Baker.
And Chris McDermott, super coach for the Crows so far. He's taken everything he could possibly learn from Graham Corns.
Forgotten it.
And has added a whole lot more. Doing a great job. In the ruck, Modra from behind. Port Adelaide needs some answers quickly. Stephen Williams, has he got them? Goes forward, great pass. And coming out, Scotty Cummings had to stretch for it. And I don't think he stretched that guts that much in a long time, Graham.
I tell you what, I know it's a fun game, but that movement from the centre was as good as you'll see. Stephen Williams, the kick, punched it low and hard. Great lead from Scotty Cummings. Great hands. It wasn't an easy mark to take at full pace. Well, full pace for him.
full pace for him, about half pace. Scott Cummings had one goal already, has two, and Port Adelaide needed it. Mark Soderstrom on the boundary.
Boys, I'm with Michael Murphy. Now, Michael, must be great being back home in Adelaide.
Oh, this is just sensational. I was just talking to a couple of the guys on the bench here and reminisced about the old days, Adelaide Oval. Unfortunately, we didn't play enough footy here. It's such a great venue. And, yeah, magnificent crowd, beautiful day, very good.
And you're still involved with the powerful Brisbane Lions?
That's it, yeah. I've been up there 9 or 10 years now, and I'm sales and marketing team. And it's been, last 3 or 4 years have been really good. Good fun, been successful, so it's helped.
Good on you, mate. Enjoy the day.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Michael Murphy, forward with the Adelaide Crows in the first couple of years, spent some time with the then Brisbane Bears. Unfortunately, injury stopped what it could have been a far longer career. Adelaide forward again, dropping what he absolutely should have taken. Ryan Fitzgerald, Scotty Lee, he won't pass it off. He'll have a ping of the goals. And he bobs up with the point.
Actually, he had a good record, Scott Lee, of being thrown into the forward line and being able to bob up with a couple of goals when you needed it most. Not then.
Most defenders do, Graham, because they get to spend so little time back there.
No, but he was a guy you could particularly count on to get thrown to a forward pocket, a half forward, and just jag a goal when you really needed it.
Port Adelaide, I'd love to say they're full of running, but they're not. Greg Anderson. Here's one man who is running for Port.
It's played well.
Braden Lyle out looking for Cummings. Was he hurled? Umpire said no. Tony Modras, he's in the ruck. He's played full forward. He's chopping off the lead of the opposition full forward. He is doing it all. Coming up now.
Crows streaming out. Five of them to one there.
Peter Caven. There's Kim Costas on the ground for the first time. Beckley, long handball over, gets the lucky bounce to Shane Tongery, runs in and slots it from almost point-blank range. The Crows now have 11. Shane Tongery bobs up with his. And the margin starting to get ugly. 22 points in favour of Adelaide.
Yes, Adelaide really dominating this quarter. Probably haven't seen the result on the score, but Shane Tongery, he was a terrific bloke to coach. Aber, he was always had a smile. He was happy. Played a couple of really good games. One sensational game in Brisbane where he kicked 3 goals off the half-forward line and helped Adelaide to come from behind to win. But just saying, we never saw enough of him, and I don't think we ever saw his best.
Back in the ruck work, yes, that is Tony Modra doing the ruck work against David Bacon from Port Adelaide. Socket forward. The Crows half-back line, they've been good all day, Graham, and a surprising amount of run, whether that's the opposition up there and Scotty Cummings not running with them or not. Andrew Payes, board member at Adelaide now, finds Tongery. The old 1-2 is becoming a training drill. The pace can't get much quicker than that. Matthew Litak gets up with the ball, running after the throw, and selfishly, Tony Modra in the goal square, snaps it around the corner. He gets his third. And once again, a contender for the Kentish Arms. Goal of the day.
Tony Modra has run himself into the ground in that quarter. Sensational stuff. Never seen him work so hard.
Well, he's just finished playing football. I think the grand final down there finished a couple of weeks ago. Still, he's in good nick as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. That's Adelaide leading 12-6-78. Port Adelaide with all the work ahead of them. 7-2-42 for the last quarter.
West End Slowdown 5, presented by Brower Natural Medicines, Sky City, West End, Melonhead Melons, Bunnings, and Adelaide's Today Tonight.
Good luck with tonight's SA Lotto draw.
Hello once again, Chris Dittmar here with tonight's SA Lotto draw. Just over $610,000 in our total prize pool and a little under $478,000 in Division 1 tonight. It is a jackpot. Let's see if we can give it away as number 32 comes out, your first number. Actually, a South Australian couple had some luck over the weekend as number 26 comes out. A couple from the northeastern suburbs shared in Saturday night's Lotto Division 1. Number 12 is your third number this evening. And it's followed by number 5. They won $273,000. And well done to them. Number 35, the 5th number tonight. We also had a South Australian winner who took the entire Super 66 prize, so good news all around. Number 44, the 6th number tonight, waiting for the sups. And the first is 39. Let's see if we can give this jackpot away tonight, the lucky last. Here it comes, number 25. Just confirming your numbers for tonight's jackpot. I hope you've had some luck.
A killer deliberately leaving clues but covering every track except one.
I was 90% sure that it was my brother.
Forensic investigators, Wednesday.
Here it is, your new Holden Caprice. Rear DVD screens, leather interior, and 250 kilowatts of V8 power.
New Caprice, with sports tune suspension, the luxury of Holden's finest engineering.
Immobilise.
And the security of Holden's satellite tracking. Caprice. Holden Caprice.
When you order a Wolfsbane Kitchen Connection wardrobe this month, you'll receive a free mirror door to add even more style to your home. So hurry, call or visit Wolfsbane Kitchen Connection today.
My name's Max. All right, I'm not here.
One of the local icons that make Adelaide great. Leighton Hewitt, an Adelaide champion. Like the mighty Adelaide Crows. The Glenelg tram will go anywhere you want. If Glenelg's where you want to go. And Millie and Limo on SAFM. The inspiring statue of Colonel Light. Or the magic of Magic Mountain. The West End chimney or the new airport. Or the hair of Guy Sebastian. And Millie and Limo on SAFM.
I think that Trish has been fantastic for small business, I really do. She's a good politician without the hoo-ha. When she says she's going to do something, she does it.
Trish Worth gets things done for Adelaide.
Authorised B lot nameable Bay Canberra.
Holden dealers are eagerly anticipating their biggest October ever with Astra Classic from only $18,990 with air. It's Stocktober and it's going to be big. See your excited dealer today.
You know who they are. They're good at what they do. But the question is, can they dance?
It's just a jump to the right.
Watch Australia's stars step on each other's toes to win in the all-new dance craze. Daryl Summers is returning to TV for Dancing with the Stars, starting Tuesday 7:30 on 7.
Three-quarter time here at Adelaide Oval. Slowdown 5, and it's the Adelaide Crows. Just doing it pretty easily in the warm conditions, 34 points. So Port Adelaide with plenty to do in this last quarter. On the boundary, Mark Soderstrom with Guy Sebastian.
Well, thanks, Bruce. Guy, what a fantastic day.
Yeah, mate, it's been unreal. I'm about to die, but it's all right.
Now, you look all right with the football. You played some juniors at Tea Tree Gully and Golden Grove, just rekindling the skills?
Yeah, I've played a little bit. It's been a few years, though, so I'm a bit unfit. I think I'm going to collapse very soon, so...
You popped the goal early in the game?
Yeah, I did, mate, right in front. I actually took a look around. I thought I'd be very embarrassed if I missed it from here. It was about a metre out, so...
Good on you, mate. Well, you can sing, you can play footy, you're just about superstar.
Thanks, mate. Let's see how we go now.
Good on you, mate.
Guy Sebastian with a goal early. Missed a sitter as well, Graham. He didn't mention that one.
Yeah, but he's gone at the ball pretty well, and that's what you like to see. Someone
Well,
attacks the ball well.
Super coach Chris McDermott has certainly played him well. His partner in crime there, Tony McGuinness, getting Adelaide forward towards Ryan Fitzgerald. Fakes, rolls over. We expect better from a former player, Graham.
Well, he got the hands to it. Tony McGuinness just cutting Port Adelaide to pieces, and since quarter time, I think he's been the difference for Adelaide.
Well, Port Adelaide need to start running. That half-time break was too long for old legs.
Start running.
They've run out of players. There have been some injuries, believe it or not. George Fiarchi.
Here's one player who has run, Damien Murray. Now, will somebody please take David Armfield out?
Limo tried to. Dave Armfield, Port Power's runner.
Murray
one of Graham Thorne's favourites. Damien Murray, plenty of pace. Caught that time. Gets it back there.
Leg.
Cummings with a big kick from a long, long way out. And that is not the way Port Adelaide wanted to start the last term. They needed a goal. Didn't come.
It was a good kick from Scotty Cummings. It just curled back with the breeze. but unfortunately, after the pass for the goalpost.
Well, that's what we like to see, the kick-ins. Go the mongrel torp, didn't come off.
Damien Murray again pumping it back.
High towards the square. Off hands, mark taken. Good solid mark too there.
Under a lot of pressure from Barry Curtin, who's got to do something about those legs, Barry.
Clayton Lamb. Last line defence, goes out wide, looking for Sean Tasker. Boundary beats him. Boundary could have been a kilometre away, still would have beaten him. The pace that Sean Tasker had generated. And we'll have a throw-in. 32,000 people here at Adelaide Oval. They've had to shut the gates for Slowdown 5. A magnificent day in what's rapidly becoming a part of Adelaide's football tradition. We had the SANFL Grand Final yesterday. Congratulations to Central Districts, 4 in the last 5 years. And now a big crowd here at Slowdown as Barry Curtin takes it. Don't know where he's pointing. He's a lair, isn't he, Graham?
Yes, did he ever play?
He is a fixture down at Port Adelaide.
We know he's a great cricketer, of course.
Well,
no, left foot to David Arnfield, his left foot out of bounds on the full, and that's probably what it deserved.
There's only one thing wrong with you as a runner. If you actually play the game, when the message goes out next to you to be delivered, it just takes the edge off it if you've actually been seen playing by the players you're trying to instruct. Tony McGuinness running still. Plenty of time for a bounce. There's nothing in front of him. Finally, someone comes and just gets around the player, Tim Jennifer, I think it was, far too easily, and delivers to Shane Tongery. Out of side, close to the boundary, brings it in. Take it well, Grant Filkey. His kick inside 50, coming out. 50! On the chest. Made it look a whole lot more dramatic than it had to be, but that's what the crowd wanted.
Well, it was a classic attack on the ball. A beautiful style, the arms tucked under the ball into the stomach. Good, strong chest mark. Make no mistake, he might be a multimedia superstar these days, but he really could play football.
Has 2 goals. Wants to make it 3 and really nail Port Adelaide. He does. Off he goes for the now customary wave to the crowd.
Adelaide Football Club Captain's Collection. This is a beautifully framed and personally autographed Adelaide football jumper with the exclusive signatures of the 4 captains. This piece is AFL approved and comes with a letter of authenticity, and all proceeds will go to support the work of the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation. This limited edition piece is priced at $880 and includes GST and delivery. Phone 83660600 now to secure your piece of SA football history. Limited to 50 only. Phone now.
So the Liberals admit John Howard is ready to leave.
People were to get, say, 2 years of Howard and 1 year of Costello, or 1 year of Howard and 2 years of Costello.
Ready to leave while Medicare collapses. Ready to leave when families are under financial pressure from record taxes. And ready to leave Peter Costello in charge. John Howard is ready to leave.
Authorised by T. Gartrell, ALP Barton.
Your future is our today. The cars we build now are for whatever lies ahead. The discoveries, the challenges, your journey. For those of you heading boldly into tomorrow, we'll take you there. Hyundai, future driven.
Australian Pensions Insurance don't offer car insurance to young drivers. We don't even offer insurance to 45-year-old drivers. We only offer car insurance to people over 55 who are no longer working full-time. Experienced drivers like you, because we understand the benefits you want, like a choice of agreed value or market value. And we don't charge you extra to pay your premiums by the month. Plus, when your car is insured through Australian pensioners, you receive a $30 voucher towards an additional home or contents policy. Call 132-555 for a quote today.
Australian Pensioners Insurance Agency.
Heard you pay $510 for your house. Yeah, 50 grand too much. 60. Well, Angela and Chris, 2 doors down, they only paid $450 today. They did really well, really well. Their place is almost identical to yours. Identical? Except for the fuel. You don't have a fuel, do you?
With domain.com.au, you'll know everything you need to buy, sell and rent property. Just don't be a Barry about it.
Now you can walk away with massive discounts on flooring at Styles Spring Clean-Up. Ceramic, timber, slate. Clean up with savings up to 60%. Sandstone, carpet and laminate. But hurry, Styles Spring Clean-Up ends soon.
Sorry we're late.
Hi, Dick.
Hi everybody, this is Stuart. Stuart, this is everybody. Room for one more? There you go, mate.
Would Stuart like some lamb?
He'd love some. Yeah. What's that? You can't eat it all. Stuart wants me to help him out with his lamb. Choice cuts.
They're certainly showing what they could have done in recent years.
Oh, hello.
Snap around the corner and put Adelaide on a roll here. Put that down to Tyler, I think.
No, it's Scotty Cummings.
Scotty Cummings, complete with injury. Just got swung around there. The momentum around his stomach just carried the boot through.
Never stops talking, Scotty Cummings.
Yep. Wearing number 1.
The mouth does not stop moving.
Port Adelaide move along to 10-4, 64, still trailing the Crows, 16-7, 103. But Graham, Slowdown 5, another success for the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation.
Oh, it's a sensational day. Well done to the boys. Well done to the people who've come out and supported it. Tony Modder trying to hack it out of the ruck. Virtually did.
Port Adelaide still running. Well, they found more run in this last quarter than they did in the third. Lyle, inside 50, out wide. Barry Kirch just goes to Crown. Gets it off the Setbury. When he starts kicking goals, you know the opposition are in trouble. Gets it around the corner. Big Scotty Cummings takes another one.
Port Adelaide finishing the stronger team. I must say Greg Phillips is going to be disappointed. They didn't show this endeavour early. Russell Boyd limping off.
Well, Scott Cummings, he kicked 14 goals one day against the Adelaide Crows. He won't do that today. He's got 4, though. And a late rally by Port Adelaide sees them move along to 70 points, still trailing Adelaide 103.
Just the dominance out of the centre. The size of David Baker just slowly starting to tell on Tony Modra, who's been sensational for Adelaide.
This may seem like the longest quarter you've ever seen. Down at full forward, Ryan Fitzgerald's got the camera out taking pictures with Guy Sebastian. Just, you know, the old scoreboard behind them. Magnificent work. Both have played well. Of course, we know Ryan Fitzgerald is a footballer, but Guy Sebastian, we know he can sing, but today he's actually showed a bit too.
He played a little bit at Modbury and Golden Grove and shown that he knows how to get to the ball and a little bit loose with his kicking at times, but he's played pretty well.
Can Port Adelaide get a couple of more consolation goals? On the ground. Northeast hurry kick towards centre forward. Working beautifully back there. Kim Costa with the number 1 haircut. Caven providing run. Members side. Long pass. Rocket Maynard. Still plenty of pace in those legs. Takes a great mark. Gets up. Plays on to McGuinness. Had plenty of the ball. Hasn't got an opponent. Has time for 2 bounces. Has time to go for home from 50 out. It's all the way. Fitzgerald should have shepherded it. Coming through Sebastian. Smashed it. Straight to the face, I think that was, of Donald Dickey. Kick around the corner. Shane Convery, goal square.
No, well done, Ryan Fitzgerald, twice then. The first time he laid it down in the path of Guy Sebastian, streaming through. Got his boot to it, but couldn't get into the goals. And Fitzgerald backing up. Centres for Tongery. Tongery takes the mark. And the easiest of goals. And just easing the pressure for Adelaide, regaining their momentum.
Not doing much pressure on Adelaide. They are comfortable leaders by 39 points. Guy Sebastian involved. Shane Tongery with his 3rd goal. And a lot of crowd favourites up there in the Adelaide Crows forward line. Mark Soderstrom with a very round Sean Tasker.
Bruce Abernathy has just described you as a very round Sean Tasker. Now, wouldn't be that rude? Shawnee, you having a great day?
I am, Mark, yes. And I'm not as round as Bruce thinks, actually. But no, I'm having a great day. I'm with Slowdown at the moment, so it's a big bonus.
In your work as a PE teacher, you're really keeping fit, aren't you?
Yeah, no, it's contrary, isn't it? Contradiction. But yes, I am a PE teacher, trying to do my best to keep fit. But look, this is a great day and raise money to the right foundation, McGuinness McDermott, so having a great day. Awesome.
Good on you, Sean. Thanks.
Thanks, Adam.
Sean Tasker is an advert for PE teachers like me being an advert for a hairdresser.
I think you've actually offended him there.
Oh, yeah. Task not too offended by too much.
You,
Don't worry about that. That's why we're in the commentary box, Graham.
Thought you were a little bit harsh.
Not as harsh as you've been on Chris McDermott, who's doing a splendid job as coach of the Crows this year.
Oh, look, we set it up for him, put all the systems in place, had the players available.
You say processes, I'll start looking for Gary Ayres. Ball goes towards the hot spot. Troy Bond there for Port Adelaide, takes it 30 metres out.
And he's looked pretty good today, Troy Bond.
Well,
I don't think
player with Adelaide.
He hasn't been in the weight room, but he's got a natural fitness and he's got an exquisite ball sense and just goes back and slots that as casually as you like.
Look, Troy Bond wearing number 14. She's unfamiliar. She's got a lot more Wayne Marnie about it, but Troy Bond, it's his first. And Port Adelaide, well, they're not really within range, but they're certainly fighting it out to the end.
Well, they've given a contest. They've just made Adelaide sit up and take notice in the last quarter, but unfortunately for Port Adelaide, Adelaide had built such a match-winning lead. Sebastian back in the centre. Modra has run the last half on the ball. Sensational performance.
Big names for Adelaide in the middle. Damien Murray, soccer superstar for Port Adelaide. Ball just lands in Tony Modra's hands. Goes forward once again. Trying to do some fancy stuff back there. Andrew Pace gets it to Limo from 45 metres out. A one-on-one. Ryan Fitzgerald, Donald Dickey. Let's see how much runs in the league. Donald Dickey gets away. Good defensive work. Passes it out to Anderson. As the siren sounds, doing Slowdown 5. Adelaide winners again. 17-7, 109. Leading Port Adelaide and beating them 12-4, 76. And some pretty relieved players out there. And 32,000 very, very happy fans.
Oh, what a fantastic day. Well done, Chris McDermott, Tony McGuinness. Well done to all the players, particularly well done to everyone who came out. We had a lot of fun, and some of the players just showing what good footballers they are. And some of the players who we didn't realise could play, like guys like Damien Murray, was sensational. Guy Sebastian, and of course, Fitzy, sensational. Great day.
Great day, Slowdown 5. We'll be back after the break with player interviews and the presentation.
West End Slowdown 5, presented by Brower Natural Medicines, Sky City, West End, Melon Head Melons, Bunnings, and Adelaide's Today Tonight.
When he claimed his first victim, this killer did something completely out of the ordinary.
2 years later, a second victim. Every detective's worst nightmare was coming true. A killer deliberately leaving clues, but covering every track except one.
I was 90% sure that it was my brother.
Forensic Investigators, Wednesday.
On Election Day, to be sure your vote counts for the House of Representatives, make sure you put a number in every box on the green ballot paper in your
With its powerful Myvec engine and rigid straight frame chassis, the new Mitsubishi Colt feels like a much larger car. The new Colt from Mitsubishi.
Premiums on the rise? Ask about ComInsure's straightforward home and contents insurance with a 15% discount when you take out a home loan with the bank.
Which bank? Homart is closing down. All surplus and discontinued lines must be sold to make way for the grand opening of their new look stores Tuesday, October 19. Save on hundreds of items throughout the store. Don't miss your chance to grab a bargain. Hurry, Homart stores closing soon.
On election day, to be sure your vote counts for the Senate, make sure you vote correctly on the white ballot paper. You have a choice. Either put a 1 in one box above the line, correct, or number every box below the line in your order of preference. Correct. This is easy.
Experience the greatest adventures, life-changing moments, and the bits you weren't meant to see. One truly amazing hour. The Great Outdoors 500th Show. Next.
What a sensational day it has been down here. I have the victorious captain with me, Tony McGuinness. Just a special day, wasn't it, Tony?
Oh, look, Mark, it was a wonderful day, beautiful weather. Both sides put on a, can I say, a memorable exhibition of football. But most of all, the public of South Australia, just a magnificent crowd. Chris said it's over 34,000 people, which is a record for Slowdown, but it's just a magnificent day's football.
Now, the Slowdown record, the Crows are now up 4-1.
Yes, well, I just think our endeavour and our commitment and our work ethic was superior to the opposition, and there was a hell of a lot of luck as well, I think.
Good on you, Tony. Timmy Ginniver, the losing captain. Now, you've won so many grand finals with Port Adelaide with the Maggies. Unfortunately, today you've gone down.
Oh, look, I spoke to the boys earlier. They're alarmed, not alert. That's the problem, mate. They're in the reverse, mate. That's what's been going on. But look, it was a great day and ruined by this game. Absolutely ruined.
And decimated with injuries. You even had the runner out there playing.
Yeah, we had the runner. We had our MC, Barry Curtin, played. It was just a debacle. But I've spoken to Braden Lowell. Big recruiting drive next year. Look out.
Good on you, Timmy.
Cheers, mate.
Chris McDermott, you sacked Graham Corns. You've taken over as coach. And what a great decision.
Well, it proved a masterstroke, didn't it? And I apologise to Graham, of course, but it had to be done. You've got to make the hard calls. But, look, a great day, and the boys put on a great exhibition. People turned up. And for us, you know, to be able to get Guy Sebastian Limo from SAFM to come and play Damien Murray, it just speaks more about, I guess, their commitment to the charity. So it was a great day.
Good on you, Chris. What a great day it has been. Back to you, boys.
Thanks very much. Slowdown 5, the final score there. Adelaide 17-7, 109, easily beating Port Adelaide 12-4, 76. And Chris McDermott mentioned getting rid of you as a masterstroke. Cornsey?
No, I can handle that. The results speak for themselves, and it's always justified by the results. Great day. Chris didn't coach particularly well, but his players really played sensational football. Adelaide far too dominant, and if there was a medal awarded for the McGuinness-McDermott showdown, I think Tony Modra would have done it clearly best on the ground from Tony McGuinness, and Damien Murray probably the best of the Port Adelaide players.
Well, Graham, 34,000 people, a wonderful crowd. They've all done their bit towards the charity. Here's how you can do your bit.
Adelaide Football Club Captain's Collection. This is a beautifully framed and personally autographed Adelaide football jumper with the exclusive signatures of the 4 captains. This piece is AFL approved and comes with a letter of authenticity, and all proceeds will go to support the work of the McGuinness-McDermott Foundation. This limited edition piece is priced at $880 and includes GST and delivery. Phone 83660600 now to secure your piece of SA football history. Limited to 50 only. Phone now.
Well, a great day here at Adelaide Oval. It has been the Adelaide Crows 33-point winners in Slowdown 5. I hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your evening right here on 7.
This 7 News Update brought to you by Woolworths, the fresh food people.
Good evening. Mark Latham is promising to protect jobs and trees as part of his plan for Tasmania's old-growth forests. John Howard has described it as a grubby preference deal with the Greens. A Catholic school teacher in Melbourne's East is the latest person arrested in the child pornography raids by police. New hope for British hostage Ken Bigley. His brother says he's been given to another rebel group in Iraq. And scientists believe Mount St. Helens in the US could erupt in the next 24 hours. I'll have more news in an hour.
What's for dinner? What about this delicious recipe from the Woolworths meat department? Marinated lamb chops with flatbread and olive dip. Combine the oil, lemon juice, oregano and crushed garlic in a large bowl. Add the lamb and toss through the marinade. This marinade also works well with other lamb cuts. Cover with plastic wrap and marinate in the fridge for 15 minutes. Preheat heat a barbecue grill on high. Add the lamb for medium rare, cook for 3 minutes each side or to your liking. Cover it with foil and set aside for 5 minutes to rest. Resting meat locks in the juices and keeps it tender. Place the bread on the grill and cook for 1 minute each side. Remove and cut into quarters. Arrange some rocket leaves, semi-dried tomatoes, the lamb, the olive spread and the bread. For more fresh tips and recipes, don't miss this month's issue of Australian Good Taste magazine. Available with all your fresh ingredients from Woolworths, the fresh food people.
2-litre Coca-Cola varieties, free for $4.98. Save $1.35. So save this week at Woolworths.
What are the local icons that make Adelaide great? Leighton Hewitt's an Adelaide champion, like the mighty Adelaide Crows. The Glenelg tram will go anywhere you want, if Glenelg's where you want to go. And Millie and Limo on SAFM. The inspiring statue of Colonel Light, or the magic of Magic Mountain. The West End chimney or the new airport, or the hair of Guy Sebastian. And Millie and Limo on SAFM.
But nothing beats this. 500 mini breaks, and they're all yours.
He's a premiership winner with Centrals and a contracted redback as well.
Both sports have been really good.
Cricket or footy?
Yeah, it gets pretty difficult nowadays.
Which elite sport will win the battle for a brilliant young South Aussie all-rounder?
Get out a bit of homework though, so get out of school.
Schoolboy prodigy Shannon Hearn talks exclusively to 7 News at 6.